So we're gonna talk about mental health during dating. I mean, don't, just don't. Just don't.
I mean, we're not gonna get an update on this.
No, nothing happened. Just don't.
Oh my God, man! I thought this is what this is about. I mean, we're not gonna get an update on this.
Not yet.
I mean, I'm not gonna pressure.
It's premature. But anyways, listen. I'm a very difficult human being, and I'm very aware of that. Okay.
Oh my God.
I'm very aware of it. Okay.
I just want to. He said, "Don't move on, house." I gotta know now. I gotta know. Oh my
God. So, anyways, let me ask you this: have you ever been like depressed or gone through a depressive episode in your life?
No.
Never.
I mean, I'm not trying to be tough or anything like that. I'm not trying to act like I'm not empathetic to people who are depressed. I think there are. I think there is obviously things like that are very true, and people need absolute help. And I also believe that there's a lot of people that use it as a crutch to make excuses, to say why this, why that. And I just feel like, it's like the ADHD thing. I feel like everyone says it now. I feel like everyone claims to have some form of ADHD, and I'm just like, man, come on, man. I feel like a lot of us just look for a reason to not do it than to do it. But no, I don't feel like I have. I do feel for the people that obviously fucking go through it. I mean, I know it's a real thing, but I can't say that, because remember what I said? I said I don't think I don't have, even no matter how bad it gets for me, I don't have it the worst. So like I cannot complain about it. So like I just have a different mindset on stuff.
Would you say that your mindset came from so your childhood, for instance? Would you say that your childhood was pretty easy, or did you have anything that you went through as a kid that might have made you a little bit harder, or were you just raised to just?
I would say the city I grew up in made me a certain type of way, and you guys can kind of tell how I talk sometimes. That you can probably tell what kind of a school that I went to. We grew up poor, so I was obviously in that demographic a lot. But I'm not ashamed of it. I'm very proud of it. I thought we were all poor where I was at, and it wasn't a big deal at the moment. So we had a lot of struggles, but I can't say that we were the worst, right? We weren't on the streets. But shit, man, I don't know where I learned it from, or if that's just the way I was, but I never had anything, never needed anything, never asked for anything. So I haven't had anything traumatic other than losing my family. Yeah. Some pets that I love dearly, but see, here's the thing though, right, Trish? You take another person. I mean, you could probably pluck them out of a population. They lose both their parents like I did. What would they be saying?
They might have a different response than you. Right.
They might. So like, I don't know. But I'm not gonna allow that to, life has to press on. It really does. It's not that I don't miss my mom, miss her dearly, but I can't mull in a corner, and like sob my life to sleep because the bills keep coming in. There's other people that depend on me. So like, I just don't see the point in it. So, but not that I'm not empathetic though, right?
I believe you're an empathetic person for sure.
There's some people that absolutely like, I don't want to bring him up, but man, we've got a member in the community that like, I don't know how I would respond if I lost my fucking child, like in this state right now with him being 3 years old and not even seen the world yet, being as innocent as he is and not deserving to have his life taken so early. Just even fucking saying those words, I could see why somebody would be depressed in that situation. And like, that's fucking terrible. But I don't think losing a parent is the same as losing a fucking child.
I mean, let's hope we'll never have to experience that. I have friends that have lost their children. in
Fucking
during
terrible.
and how do you gauge that? Like, how do you gauge it as someone who was pregnant and maybe lost the child while they were pregnant, or somebody who had the child and the child was 3 or 4, or a teenager? Like how do you gauge that? Is there more or less of a severity that you would like have empathy for a person, or are you just empathetic all around because they lost a child, you know?
Yeah, I think there's levels to it. I think there is. I mean, like, yeah, obviously losing a child at any stage of pregnancy or like birth or whatever is bad, but your relationship definitely gets stronger with time. So like when you're raising the child, like my bond with my son is way stronger than it was when he first got here. Like it's just what it is. I mean, so it would be way worse for me now than say it would have been 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? It would have been bad, but it's on a whole nother level now. You know what I mean? It just is.
And what you're saying is, you're not saying that it would be any easier or any less rough. You're just saying it would be different because you have these memories now with your child and raising him and stuff.
I think it'd be 10 times worse. And I'm sure people got different opinions on that. I think too, like that situation is a lot worse. So like if you guys are pregnant and you lose it during birth, like it would be way more impactful for you than probably most men in that relationship, because we're not bearing the child. Like we don't get that privilege. Like we don't. Like that's one thing that you guys get that's exclusive. We have no idea what that's like. And I can't, I mean, I would say that like even in that level or that state, that'd probably be a lot worse for you guys than the man.
So let me put it like as far as like a woman's perspective. So when I was my first pregnancy that I ever had, I miscarried, and my son would have been they knew the birth, they knew the sex. He would have been about 12, 13 weeks at the point of passing, that I was aware. But yes. So I was very emotional. I was very sad, but it wasn't an event in my life that like losing my father, you know? And then when I was able to carry Carter to full term, I had this disconnect from him that I told you about. I had this disconnect with my son. I loved him, but it wasn't like this overwhelming love, I'll die for you love. It was like, I felt like I was not his mom, and I had just carried him for 9 months, and that's like postpartum depression and all of that stuff. Well, after I had Carter, we had tried to get pregnant several times, and I had many miscarriages. And I can tell you this, the miscarriages after having Carter were so much more severe than the ones that I had, the one that I had previously, because now I had Carter. I love Carter. He's growing up. And I have these memories with him and these interactions. And so I'm looking to have those interactions again with new children. And I could not carry a child to full term. And those really affected me. It made me feel like I was a failure, like something was, internally wrong with me. But it just made me feel like I was broken. And that really did affect my mental health and even to this day, like I can't have any more children now. And it does affect me. It makes me feel less. It makes me feel less than. And it's a terrible feeling to feel like you cannot be mothering to more children or have more children. And I think that that's a rightful thing, like a right thing to be depressed about, like wanting to be a mother to multiple children and you can't, like that. It sucks.
Something that's out of your hands, out of your control.
Can't do anything about it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I definitely understand that. Were you dying? Did you get did you go to a clinic for it, or like were you diagnosed, treated?
For the miscarriages?
Postpartum.
For the postpartum, I had this disconnect from Carter when he was first born, in the sense to where I just didn't feel like it was real. I felt like it was very fake. Like somebody was going to take him away and that was it. Like, I just didn't feel like I had this overwhelming love for him. I tried so hard. I just didn't feel the way that I felt a lot of moms made me feel like I should feel. Like
they do on TV.
On movies.
Or like when they post on Instagram, oh my God, what do they say? It's like, as soon as I looked into his eyes or her eyes, I fell in love, and like, this is my biggest accomplishment and all that stuff. Like, I was the same way. It did not happen to me. But I wasn't surprised by that. I wasn't surprised. I was like, okay, obviously I love him very much and I'm gonna take care of him. But like, the interaction and the relationship building didn't come until, he was aware of who the fuck I was. You know what I'm saying? When there was like interaction, response, just like even eye contact, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a little bit different for men. And I can't say that I understand when a man says those things, because I didn't experience that. It's kind of similar to yourself. Yeah.
I would say the feeling that overwhelmed me was fear. That was the number one thing that I had felt, was fear. And I just did not connect. And when I had actually shared with my ex that I was feeling this type of way, and he said, let's go get you checked out. So we went to the doctor. We went to a regular doctor, not an OBGYN. OBGYN is a female doctor, and that does female stuff. And I told him what I was feeling, and they ended up putting me on an antidepressant, and I was only on that antidepressant for a very small amount of time because I felt like it wasn't benefiting me at all. And so then I just ended up going to therapy. And I'll tell you this, if you are on medication to help with any form of anxiety, depression, PTSD, whatever it is, and it helps you, it works for you, more power to you. I have done all of that. I have done anxiety medications. I've done depression medications. And the only thing that has helped me not only resolve my issues, but help me identify and prevent further issues is therapy. And so I will tell, and going to a therapist and telling the truth to a therapist. Don't lie to make yourself look better. Tell the truth, because that's what they're there for, is to help you through these issues so that you are not continuing to make these same mistakes over and over and over again. Have you ever been to therapy?
So no, I haven't had like personal therapy, but like, when me and my ex was having troubles, she recommended us go to marriage counseling. So I mean, some people will call that therapy. And that I was like, man, I don't know, man. Like, I majored in sociology, psychology, right? I think the marriage counseling stuff is for people who can't find the answers. Like, I think a lot of the stuff, like when you're dealing with humans or like other people, like friendships or whatever, like if you just use common sense on a lot of the stuff and be aware of yourself, because that's where the biggest problem is usually. Like, you're usually doing something that's causing a response, or you're not doing something, but people don't think like that. So they have to go to a marriage counselor to have them identify it for them. That's all it is. It's like these people identifying what you are doing or not doing and trying to help you problem solve these things. So like, I felt like I could already do that. And now she thought I was cocky or whatever, and that I was full of shit. And we ended up going, and I kid you not, she made me go to 3 of them.
Okay.
Because every one of them said verbatim what I said. And they agreed with me every time. So she would fire them.
And find a new one.
And find a new one. And then this one would do the same thing. And say, like, all the stuff that we talk about, like in this podcast, is like literally stuff that I would like regurgitate, like trying to problem solve all these things. And she was just like, nah, you're full of shit. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So she made me go to these people. And like, man, it was brutal for her. So like, that was like the last ditch effort. And then we know what happened after that. So
I think if you're going to therapy with the objective, couples therapy, with the objective of the therapist trying to prove your spouse wrong, trying to make you look like the better person, versus I want to go to counseling because I want to learn how to communicate with my spouse so we both understand each other. Do you see how that sounds different? Because one of them is making accusations and the other one is resolve. So if you're going to that couples therapist with the sole intention of making your spouse look bad, you're already going for the wrong reasons.
That's just dumb.
It's dumb.
So dumb. It might blow up on your face. She had the audacity to tell me that I was manipulating the clinician.
Oh my gosh.
And mind you, I never sat down with the clinician without her. She was there every time. I just could not believe it, man. Some people are just fucking delusional as fuck and just can't.
They are.
But that is one of those things. I think a lot of men deal with this in their relationship, and I'm not throwing daggers at women. I'm really not. But I've dealt with this a lot of times. Usually we'll say something. How many men? And please be honest in the chat. Don't worry about your wife's response, because I feel like this is a problem. No, I'm being dead serious.
Okay,
I'm not trying to crack a joke.
I'm here.
No, I know you're laughing.
I'm here.
Okay, so men will tell our wives something or our girlfriends, and we will be 100% right. 100% accurate, because like most men, and I'm going to say some men, because not most men. Most men act like they know what the fuck they're talking about and don't. I will say that. But a lot of times, like myself included, I will not speak out on something unless I know what it is. If I don't know what I'm talking about, hey, you got the wheel, Captain. I'm in the back seat. I'm not even going to, don't even ask me a question, because I got no comment. That's how I operate. So like, we will explain something to our wives or our fiancés, girlfriends, and we will know exactly what we're talking about, and you guys will not believe us. But you talk about John, Dick, and Harry down the street will repeat verbatim what we say, and then now all of a sudden you believe it. You get what I'm saying? Like that. How many men have gone through that in the chat? Like that shit happens constantly.
I can tell you why.
Why?
So
why?
Women value respect. They value respect. And so when a woman is to the point where she is not listening to the things that you're saying, it's because they don't respect you.
See, that's a problem.
No, it is a huge problem. It is a huge problem in relationships to have a mutual respect for your partner. It's a huge problem. And women gauge how respect is earned differently than men gauge how respect is earned. So for women, like I had stated before, we want to feel like we're important to our spouse. We want to feel like they appreciate the things that we're putting forward, whether it's cooking dinner or taking care of the kids, whatever it is. I work full time and I'm contributing to the bills. Whatever the wife is doing in that relationship, she wants to feel respected and appreciated. So when a man doesn't do those things, in our minds, the respect goes down. So that's when we get snappy. That's when we get sassy, because we think in our minds, well, we can do, I've been doing it myself. I could do it myself. Why am I going to listen to you? Why am I going to listen to anything you say? Because I obviously can do it myself. That's how women think.
Okay. Oh, fine. Why did you ask us?
What do you mean? Why did we ask you the question?
We're not just giving you the information. You asked us the question.
I'm telling you right now, there are so many men that mansplain.
No, okay. No, I've been accused of mansplaining. I'm not even mansplaining. Like, when we actually know what we're talking about, why is it called mansplaining? We don't say you guys are woman-splaining with us. And I talked about this on chat.
But you say you're getting emotional. You're getting emotional. That's what you say. That's what you say.
Do you guys get emotional?
Do you guys mansplain?
No. Well, I didn't just offer the information. You asked me. I'm minding my own fucking business over here. I didn't ask to have a conversation with you. You walked into my space, asked me a question about something, and then said I'm full of shit. I don't understand. There's not a man in here that doesn't agree with what I'm saying. I didn't walk out there and just like try to tell you about an oil change. You asked me about it and you don't believe me. So I don't know why you asked me, and now you're gonna go get the same information from the mechanic down the street. You get what I'm saying? Like, that shit happens all the fucking time.
Okay, hold on.
We just mind our business. We're just sitting here.
I want to go ahead and make a point here, because somebody in the comments, Sniper Eye, said, "Sorry, Trish, House is right." So first things first. First things first. Nobody is right here. The whole point of why we have these conversations out loud for you guys to hear is because I'm taking the perspective of what someone who, as I'm not saying I think like this today, I'm just sharing that I have or maybe in the past relationships thought this way. So I'm explaining it in a way so that we can have these conversations live.
They know that.
So
They're
you guys
trolling.
can see it. So
I like it, though.
Nobody. No.
I like it.
No.
I'm right about that. This happens all the time. This happens all the fucking time.
I cannot. God, all the fucking in my fucking comments. Oh, preach, man. preach. I'm like,
I mean, what did I say that they hate the most, guys? Fucking truth. They hate it so much, man.
No.
What
I
said
don't
was
hate
true.
the truth. No.
I didn't even say, like, I didn't even like give a conclusion to it. I said this happens in everyone's relationships. Exactly like this. And my question, I was asking you a question. I wasn't even saying I was right. I said this happens. Why? And that was it. I wasn't saying,
Exactly. And
but this is a fact.
And I explained
This happens.
what the thought process is in a lot of wives' brains when they're I'm not saying that they're right or they're entitled. I'm saying that that's what they're thinking in their minds is they've lost respect for their husband, and that's why they don't take him seriously.
Why are you asking us a question? Then leave us alone. Let us watch the fucking football game. I'm watching a football game. You ask me about the lawnmower. I tell you about it, and you say I'm full of shit. So like, why'd you bother me then?
There's that lawnmower story. Mel keeps saying, huh? Mel, what do you need clarification on? I want to see what Mel needs clarification on here.
I don't. If you don't respect us, don't ask us the question. If you don't want to hear the answer, don't ask us the question. I just don't like. If you don't respect us, then leave us alone.
Yeah. I'm getting so annoyed.
She don't have an answer for it.
Everybody's saying huh, and it's driving me crazy right now. So you are right. I in the sense to where if a woman is not going to take, and vice versa, if a man's not going to take a woman's point of view, or a woman is not going to take a man's point of view and really try to understand it, and they're just being combative and don't want to hear it, yeah, then just leave me alone. Like, don't waste your time on asking me a question.
Do men do that though?
What do you ask questions?
Yeah. Do we ask you guys a question and then disrespect you when you give the answer?
Yes. So I could say in experience.
Tell me one.
I can give you one. So as far as what do you need to be happy? Like having that conversations. What do you need to be happy? What can I do? And so a woman explains, I need you to be romantic. I need you to be more affectionate. I need you to be more loving. And so the man is like, okay, I can do that. And they try for a little bit, but then they don't take it. They don't keep it going. And so they fall right back into the rut of where they were before. And it's the same issue over and over and over again. So that's one instance that I could say that a woman would feel like they're not being heard, that they're asked a question and it's not done.
But he complied. That's something women never do.
Women never comply? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I said,
don't you fucking smirk at me like that again.
Did I not just say, give me a same example? She gave me a totally different example. Respectfully, you said we would ask you a question, you would answer it, and then we would say, okay. That sounds like a very good conversation. I mean, obviously he wasn't consistent enough, but whereas you reverse it, you ask us a question, we tell you, and then you guys roll your eyes. We're full of shit. You don't want to believe us. You're going to go ask the next guy. You're going to ask the fucking mailman, and he doesn't even know what he's talking about, but you're going to believe what he says over what we said. And once he repeats what we say, you're going to believe it then.
So we actually had this conversation previously where I took full accountability for myself that I used to do this in my relationship, where I would kind of like make fun of, and I didn't know it was making fun. I thought it was just banter when he would say something that he was important to him, and I'd be like, oh, okay, like, pro baseball player, like talking about drafts or whatever it was. And in his mind, he was taking it as digs, like implying that he wasn't good at what he was doing. And to me, I thought I was just being funny. And so it wasn't until after we had gotten divorced when I'm starting to like go through the process in my mind of what I did wrong. And I'm like, I could see how that would beat somebody down a little bit. And so I apply it to my life now, and I don't do that now. Like I check in. Are you good? Are you okay? Like I do it differently now. But it takes being conscious of your own actions to be able to change those things, There was a question spammed in chat to you that says, ask him if he's macho or a narcissist in his relationship.
Macho? Like, but see, okay, so when someone asks a question like that, right? So asking me if I'm narcissist or macho, then what would be the motivation behind being either of those? Are we talking about, am I the one trying to gain the more power in the relationship? Because when I think about that question, unless you're going to be specific, I'm thinking I try to do neither. This is my personality, even if she's not in the house. So I'm not trying to overtake a space. I'm not trying to control her or run her. I want it completely equal. I do bitch work all the time. I fucking clean toilets. I wash dishes. I do laundry. I'm not privy to anything that she doesn't do. I take care of the child. I change diapers. I wipe asses. I give baths. As soon as I get off, like we went to the grocery store, Trish, and I try to keep him as long as I can before I go to stream. We got on at 7, right? That's early. So you know what I told her? I said, listen, okay, look, I'm gonna go do the stream with Trish really quick. I'm gonna get off at 8, she says. I'm gonna come back here. You don't even have to give him a bath. I'll come do his bath really quick, give you a massage, and then I'm gonna come do my stream at 9 o'clock. So that's me making sure I take some of it back, right?
Sure.
So I took an hour from her, right? Because 6 to 7 should be her hour. And then I'm trying to take some of it back. So being macho and narcissistic, I don't think I'm either one of those. Now, you can argue with me on that. You could debate me on that. But that's why when I hear that, I'm thinking about, well, what would be the motive of somebody trying to be any of those things in the household? But in my situation, it's completely equal, completely non-biased. I get mad when it's not equal. So
you've said that before, and I believe you. I would say, like, so when somebody says that to you, because I know you, so when somebody makes a comment, to me, it's somebody that is judging you by your presence that you're giving now. So you give off this very confident presence because you're a confident person. You're showing off your muscles, your tattoos, I'm trying to give you one here. I'm trying to give you one.
So thank you. I needed that one because Jenna said the other day, she said, you look like you got fucking pipe cleaners for arms. I was like, oh my God, that hurt me. That hurt me right in my fucking core right there when she said that shit.
But I'm saying, like, you come across very confident and secure with yourself. You're very outspoken. You're very opinionated. We have a lot of these conversations in order to incite a conversation. And so they look at you and they judge you as somebody who's arrogant and cocky or whatever. But I know you and I know you're not that way. And the same happens for me. They hear me talking and sharing my story about me being divorced and a single mom, and they're automatically like, oh, she's this, and oh, she probably didn't take care of her man, and blah, 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 like all this fucking stuff. And I'm just like, I'm just talking. I'm just having a conversation. So what I would say when you come in here and you hear us talk and have these conversations, or with any conversation, don't assume that somebody is arrogant, or don't assume that somebody is too into themselves or whatever. Just listen to the conversation and the personality will come out.
Yeah, no, I get that. I do get that. And, there might have been a time in my life where I was like, you know what, maybe I should change the personality that I'm portraying. But then I'm like, why would I do that? Because that's not really me, right? So like, that's why this streaming thing has been so cool, because I've been able to become a part of this thing with you guys and surround myself or be a part of a group of people that are similar to I am. And I still have it happen every day where like somebody will come into my TikTok chat and they'll be like, man, I'm losing a lot of respect for you, man, how you're talking and all that stuff. Well, I want to be like, well, go fuck yourself, because like, I'm not being for real. Like, if you don't get it, if you don't get my personality and you can't laugh at this, if how I'm talking is making you feel small or just hurt a little bit or intimidated, this is not the place for you. Like, I don't want you here. I want you somewhere else, because you're not going to get along with me, and you're not going to get along with all the other people that hang out with me. So like, I used to be like, man, I got to appease this. I got to appease them all, right? But no, fuck that, man. Like, you're going to waste your time not being yourself, and you're going to be fucking miserable because you're putting on this, like, you're just this persona that's not even you. Like, I'm all about like being authentic. I heard Gary Vee say this one time. He was talking about, somebody came up to him in a Starbucks. He's like, why do you use that foul language? Like, why do you cuss in front of your child? He's like, because I believe in being authentic. Like, I'm not going to waste my time. I'm a good person. How I talk has no bearing on what I do and how I treat other people. This is words. It's not a big deal. If you feel offended, that is a problem with you. And I've completely adopted that. I've completely adopted that, and I think
I like
everyone
that. Yeah.
should. Yeah, I think everyone should. I really do. Now, will I be more professional in a different setting? Absolutely. But in settings I don't need to be professional, I'm gonna be myself.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, like for me, for instance, I've shared this with you. My comments are riddled with negativity, and I would say the negativity is 95% male. And I'm not talking about like it's all across the board. People calling me dumb and delusional and fat shaming me, calling me ugly. Like someone called me Four Eyes because I was wearing glasses. And I thought to myself, because it did make me sad for a second, but then I thought to myself, what does that have anything to do with the conversations that we're having? Like anything to do with the conversations that we're having. And it just is a reflection of that person who cannot, like, they see a woman who is confident in herself and outspoken enough to share her viewpoints, and they look at that and they hate it. They hate it so much. So what do? They go in the comments and they attack me any way that they think possible because they don't like me for whatever reason.
Right.
And all I have to say to people that do that is, I'm not going anywhere, anywhere. Like, I'm going to keep doing this. Good. And I'm going to take it as far as I can. And I don't care, period.
Yeah. And again, when you look at the big picture, it's a small percentage.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. So like, those are the ones you don't care. It's like, well, somebody said this, there's going to be 10% of the people that are always going to be around, like the homies, the OGs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And there's going to be 10% of the people that are always going to fucking hate you. That's the 10% that you don't need to care about. The only ones that you need to work really hard for is the 80% that are kind of like in the middle, trying to fill you out, seen you a couple of times, but still trying to make a judgment call. Just fucking ignore those motherfuckers. It don't even matter. Now, I clap back. For sure.
Yeah.
But it's the reason why I clap back is because it doesn't bother me. I don't want them around. So like, I do want to make it frustrating for them. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I do want to make it frustrating for them. And if you look at my streams, for the most part, it's not trolly. Because
it's not. No.
I get rid of them. But I don't block them though. But I get rid of them because you don't want to give them that power. We've talked about that before, right? You don't want to give them that power, man. Like that. That's why they doing that shit. They want to tear you down, cut your legs out from underneath you. They want to take something from you, and when they see that they can't, they just fucking leave. Like it just
true. That is true. So I know we only have a little more time because you are leaving, so you can go give that back massage to Jenna with no ulterior motives whatsoever.
I got a kid. My kid's sitting right there. I'm not fucking. No, I'm being dead serious. When I told you guys need, I'm being dead ass. We have a massage table. I bought it. It was $40. It's the best purchase I ever made. Like, I like massages. When I lived in Vegas, I used to get them all the time for $20, and not the ones with the happy endings. I know what y'all are thinking. So, like, I'm being dead ass. Like, I'll be giving her a massage while he's sitting there fucking watching Vlad and Nikki. Like, I'm dead ass. Like, we're serious about the massages. Dead ass.
What do you use? Do you use lotions? You use oils? What do you use?
Nah, I mean, just fucking lotion. I'm not finna do all that stuff. I mean, if you're trying to do a good one, but like this ain't gonna be a good one. I mean, we're just gonna
lather her up.
No, I'm not gonna lather her up today. No, no.
So question. Let me ask you this. Have you ever dated somebody that was, let's just say they had a really bad relationship, okay? And they broke up and it was really bad, and this person is not over their ex whatsoever. And they meet you and you think they're fantastic. And they tell you, I'm not really over my ex yet. Like, I just want to go slow. I want to take my time. And you're like, okay, but you still want to get to know them. Do you think that's a smart decision?
Me personally, no. I do not think it's smart. If she's 1 foot in, 1 foot out, how is she gonna get to know me? If she's always like if she's always like I'm pulling her this way, but she's hanging onto the tree over here. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
there's just no way. Like she's never gonna open up to me. She's never gonna let me in. She's never gonna give me a fair shake. So there's no way that I would compromise myself and put myself in that situation. Not only are you gonna lose quality time, you're going to waste your time, you're going to waste your money. I'm sure you're going to waste your money, and then you're just going to waste your efforts, man. And it's going to, at the end of the day, depending on what kind of confidence you have, it might deflate you, because if you really like her, if you're investing yourself and you start to like her more and more and more and more, and she's not going anywhere, you're just destroying yourself in the end. Period.
But what if he really likes you? He really likes you, but he's not over his ex. He wants to get to know you, and he wants to see if you guys could be anything, but I'm not over my ex yet.
And listen, he's telling you is if he could be with his ex, that's where he'd be right now. So she controls the cards. She's not with him. He's not with her right now because she's not letting him. But if he had his choice, he would not be in front of you right now. So there's no way. Do not put yourself second to nobody, because you're not going to have a fair shake. You're going to waste your fucking time, and you're going to waste your money. Get the fuck out of there.
Get out. And you would be surprised how many of those questions we have gotten. He's not ready for a relationship. She's not ready for a relationship. I've used that on people that have tried to hit on me, and I've said, I'm not ready for a relationship. I've used that. But in my mind, I'm thinking, I can't wait to meet. I just saw what Skelly just wrote. I can't wait to meet somebody that makes me like want to get to know them. So like, I have said that to people when I was younger or whatever. So I'm just letting you know, if they are not in it and they're giving you any excuse whatsoever, leave. It's not worth your time. Did you get any questions?
No, I did not. I didn't get any questions.
I did.
I think I got a couple, and then I forwarded them to you because they were very specific for
and I did.
I guess the female perspective. Yeah.
So we have more people in the chat here. So I'm going to tell you what's coming up. So the next PunksTea episode, which is going to be next Wednesday, we are going to be talking about the different attachment styles, which House has no idea what these are. He has no idea what anxious attachment is. He has no idea what avoidant attachment is, and we are going to be hitting on those, and we have some good stuff to talk about. But the question that I got was, I have been talking to this guy for a while now, and I told him that I like him. I just wanted to know if he felt the same way. And his answer back was, it's hard to say. Does that mean he's not interested?
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing else to fucking, like, if I'm interested and you give me an opportunity to solidify my situation with you, and that's what I want, there's no reason I'm not going to hesitate. It's like basketball, right? If the defense opens the lane and gives you a free layup to the hoop, you could dunk it untouched. I'm going to fucking go for that play. But if you open that opportunity for him and he's not walking through that door, you better shut that door and walk the other way. Like, it's not going to work out for you at all, period. Hesitation, man. Like that's a key sign of uncertainty, really.
And you know what this is? This is Hollywood making people think that the man is going to somehow realize that, as he's reflecting while reading a book or like walking out to war, that, oh, I really did love her and I left her. That's make believe. That's not real life. Like, it's not real life. If somebody wants to be in your life, they're going to make sure that they're there. And it doesn't have to be like the way that you think that love is in your mind. It could just be basic communication and somebody that's texting you and checking in on you and making sure that you're okay. Like, you might not be used to that, but that could be their way of showing you that they're into you and they want to get to know you. It's just the way that you read it, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt. So in the comments you got, does a dick pic not portray real solid intention? And I do mean solid metaphorically, right?
So hold on.
Awesome said, my man, House. Oh my God.
So listen, yes, obviously,
Skelly.
if somebody is sending you a dick pic or a tit pic or whatever, it's the intentions are there, right? But what if you've been talking to this person for a while, you're getting to know them, you like them, you're not 100% sure if you guys are going to be in the relationship stage, but you want to take it the next step. So you start flirting sexually and want to see if you're compatible sexually.
And you're asking if that's okay?
If that's okay.
Yeah, I ask for pictures like in dating phase. I do. But see, you know what's funny about that? I asked for that stuff, but I remember you specifically saying it, then all the women agreeing that it was like all men do is ask for fucking
There's
nudes.
a difference. There's a difference if you just met on dating apps, you haven't got on a date yet, nothing, and they're like, oh, they send you a dick pic or they're asking you for a tit pic or whatever.
I mean, I'm counting down the minutes. I am. I'm waiting. I'm like a greyhound in a race behind the gate, man, just waiting for that green light to fucking go, just so I can send.
I had somebody that I liked a lot, a lot, and I wanted to get to know him more. And like we were flirting and bantering back, and I had said something like sarcastically, and I was like, "You can have whatever you want." And he was like, and I said, "What do you want?" And he was like, I would like a video of you doing this if you could send it to me. And I was like, oh, the audacity, like our very,
oh my God, how you let him, you opened the door.
Conversation. I didn't know he was going to be like a video. Like to me. See,
that's not fair. That is not fair. You cannot, you see what I'm saying? They talk about communication, men, right? Like, so we're as black and white as the fucking newspaper. You say, hey, this or that. We say, I want this. And then we get fucking crucified for the shit, right? We get hung by the noose because we give them our honest answer, and they wonder why we can't be honest with them because we get shamed for it.
Listen, I didn't shame him for it. I was just more like, oh my God, like that's
well, now you made him self-conscious. I thought, first he thought he was driving on the Autobahn, and then he gets pulled over for driving over 60.
He did.
That shit sucks,
it
man.
Was like,
you set him up.
It was like over.
You fucking set him up, man.
Hey, listen, I need to be more like outspoken. Do women need to do that? Do we need to be like, hey, I like you? Do we need to do that or what?
Yeah, we've talked about that before. Yeah, if you want to find out if he's the real deal or not, listen, you need to try to scare him off. You need to try to do it. Because if you scare him off, he wasn't going to be there anyways, trust me. Because if he likes you enough, there's nothing you can do to scare him off. Like we've said that before.
But why don't the men say like, hey, I like you, I want to get to know you more? Like, why is it the woman having to figure out what their intentions are? Why aren't men stating what their intentions are?
No, we do, but like you guys are quicker to it though. Like you guys fall head over heels a lot quicker than we do. That's the truth. That's the truth. So it's not that men don't do it. You guys just want to get there quicker than we do. That's how it happens every time. We're talking about marriage, engagement, all that shit happens we want to do it at regular, normal speed. You guys want to do it in half the speed. So it looks like you guys are always saying it first. Well, because you are. It's not because we don't feel that way. It's because you're just fucking impatient, man. Like you just can't be like, you're worried about your friend, your best friend who you've been friends with for 20 years. Well, she was only with him for a year. And then I was making fun of you guys. How many of you guys get the chicken wing back home? Like they fucking do this shit, fucking my friend, they fucking start doing this shit and start clucking at you. Everybody knows what I'm talking about, right?
I literally stand like that all the time.
I bet you do.
It's my superhero pose. I like standing like a superhero.
It's y'all's stance, man. But no, you guys are so quick to want to get there, which there's nothing wrong with it, but again, like even bringing up some of those hard topics about engagement, marriage, and all that stuff, when you bring those things up, if the guy, is like gets scared by it, then he's probably not even in the ballpark with you. Like you might need to think about finding somebody else.
Yeah, I think they're like I know that I state my intentions. When I like somebody, I'm not like the first day, like, oh my God, I like you. I want to be with you forever. Like, no, I don't do that. I get to know them. And if I like them, I'm going to say, I like you. Like, I would like to spend some more time with you, get to know you, blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
I've always been that way my whole entire life. If I wanted to go on a date with a guy, I just asked him. I didn't wait for them to ask me per se. But I think a lot of women want that. They want that be courted, sweep them off their feet, can't live without them type of situation, when I think men are just as scared to imply that they're interested in you, that they're going to get turned down or seem like they're a creep. So they avoid those communications until it's a neon sign in front of them saying, I like you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I agree. I mean,
Life says he blames Disney. Sounds about right. All those Disney movies.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's anything. It's like Disney movies, regular movies. It's fucking TV shows. Like they paint these pictures, and I'm sure there's some people out there that have like a Cinderella ending. But like I've seen it all, man. I've seen this. I've seen lavish weddings. Trish, like you remember I used to do photography, so I've seen lavish weddings. Thousands of dollars. These people on the surface, if you go to their Instagram, you go to their Facebook, you would have never thought like they got this fucking perfect life that they like to portray. They get a divorce fucking 2 months later.
Yep.
Like
No.
I was like, are you fucking serious? Like
I like I told you, like my first wedding was huge. It was ginormous, and in no way did I think that the marriage warranted that type of show whatsoever. And I know what that was. Like my mom paid for the whole thing, and she just wanted to show people that she could supply this marriage for her daughter, and I was the oldest, so that's why she did it, or this wedding. But when I married my ex-husband that I was married to the longest, we got married at the courthouse. We just went to the courthouse, and that was it. We bought a house, and that was our life. Like, we didn't spend money on a wedding. And I was just talking about this the other day. I was like, I don't know if I ever want to get married again, but if I ever did get married again, like, I don't know. I don't know what I would value more. Like, honestly, like, having a big wedding and showcasing the love, or just not needing to do that and just going to a courthouse again. I've had both, so I don't know where I would stand in that. It is a big waste of money.
Man, this is gonna sound crazy, but I believe in a wedding at 10 years.
So my ex-husband and I said that we were going to do that because we got married at the courthouse, and we're like, for our 10-year wedding anniversary, we'll have like a wedding, like a renewal of vows and a wedding. And I found out 2 days after our 10-year anniversary that he was having an affair.
Oh, 2 days after.
Almost got that party. Damn it.
Well, but good thing you waited, because then you saved money.
Saved a shit ton of money.
Saved money. So
as Spang says in the chat, rip. Like, it was legit rip. But yeah, no, 2 days after our 10-year anniversary.
That sucks, but at least you didn't do a wedding. So.
And when people tell me, they're like, "Oh, that was a long time. Like, that was a long time to be married or whatever." And I just tell myself, you know what? At least it wasn't 15. At least it wasn't 20. Yeah. You know what I mean? I found out at 10, and you know, I'm breaking my teeth on popcorn, but we're here, baby. We're fucking here. It is what it is.
You can't be gobbling those fucking popcorns like that.
Jesus Christ. But
like,
yes.
I don't know how you were eating that shit. Like, I got this. If have you watched like the Sesame Street? I just like picture you like the Muppets, like chomping on that popcorn like that.
Bruh, I probably was. I really probably was, because it's not like I was sitting like around a table where I'm like cutting my steak and like it was literally facing my computer and like typing and like. Like, that's what I was doing, dude. I don't even think I tasted it. I don't even think I tasted it. Oh my God.
That shit's funny.
It is.
So like, I know I got 4 minutes, but I want to throw this out there. I want to see, we could continue it on the next one, but.
Okay.
So body counts for men and women.
Okay.
So what's the consensus on that nowadays? Is that still a double standard? Does it even matter anymore? Do men care about what the body count is on a woman that he's currently dating?
Absolutely. Men 100% care more about a woman's body count than a woman cares about a man's body count. Absolutely.
Why?
Because men like to envision women as virgins. They like to think that we've never slept with anybody and we worship you and you're going to be the best we've ever had. Yes.
No, I don't think.
Yes.
I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it.
Then why wouldn't men go for the woman that has experience, the one that knows what she's doing because she's been there, she's been in the trenches, she's been there. But no, they want the virginal outlook on, she's clean.
Yeah, see, well, okay, so like you said virgin. Like I think I would have worded it differently because I don't think I would have said virgin. I just think. Yeah. I mean, you said clean, but I'm not trying to say it's dirty. I'm just saying there's a difference between, I guess, the verb of it.
What would you use? What verb? Walktown. I'm not listening to you. Walktown. Every time I say anything, Walktown is writing wrong in the chat.
Right.
I get it. Okay.
So
continue.
I'm not gonna say clean because men can be dirty too, right? So like there's no easy. I guess it's the verb of it for men. Like, if men are doing it, they're the ones fucking, and if women are doing it, they're the ones getting fucked. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying. So, like, I don't know.
You don't think
is that why it's different?
I know plenty of women that have fucked men also.
But not technically though. Like not technically. They might be dominating it, but at the end of the day, see, I can't even say it without somebody just joins the match or joins the stream right now. They're gonna be like, "Oh, this guy's an asshole." I can't even say what I want to say. So I mean, I don't know. Like, so is that why though? Like, is it this whole clean? Like, I don't really care about like virginity per se.
I'm
like,
not
that's
saying
not really...
that they want a virgin. They're looking at someone who, like you said, the wrong verb, but the same thing. They're looking for somebody who's clean in their mind. So when I had posted that video about single moms being more desirable, the comments were like less, which I already stated my point on that one. But there were comments in there that were like, men look at women who have children as being devalued. They're devalued because they're already run through, is what they were saying. Not me. I don't believe that, but that's what men are thinking. That because women who have had children, obviously, have had sex and therefore run through is what they were saying. So they're looking for somebody clean, virginal, not as experienced, doesn't have a big body count. That's what they're looking for. Which, I'm sorry, if I was a guy and I was looking for a girl to fuck around with, I'm going for somebody who is experienced. I want to see the test to make sure you're clean, but I'm going for somebody that's going to rock my world, not someone that I have to teach. No, thank you.
If you date nowadays, do you get a test?
Absolutely, 1,000%.
How do you bring that up?
I just bring it up.
You get that test before the do gets done?
I will tell you this. The sexual experiences that I've had, especially like, because I was married for a long time. So after that, the experiences that I've had, I've asked, when was the last person that like you were with? And usually it's, a couple months or whatever. No one's ever said, oh, last week. And then I said, when's the last time you've been tested? And they tell me the last time they've been tested. I've only asked for it with people that I've actually been intimate with, and it's always beforehand because I always give it. I always give, hey, I just got tested. Do you need to see it? Most of the time, guys say no, but I have it.
But like, how do you bring that up? So like,
I just ask for it. I in my sense of humor, I asked for him like, buddy, if you want to,
okay, I got you.
If you want to do this, I need to see the test. Send it over. I'm sorry. There are so many fucking diseases out there. Or like, I use protection.
STD card. They got STD cards nowadays.
I don't know what that is.
It's like an ID card or what?
No way they have an STD card. I'm sorry. For instance, for me, oh my God, I'll share an experience with you. So I can't get pregnant anymore, obviously, right? There was this guy that I was talking to, and I had shared with him, like, I can't get pregnant anymore. And the reason why I share that is because if you want kids, like, obviously this isn't going to work out. And his response to me was...
He wanted to make a deposit at the bank.
So does that mean that I can in the bank? And I was
Yeah,
like, no.
I mean, that's a thing.
Obviously,
I mean,
it's a thing, but I was like,
yeah, you gotta let him. I mean, what's the risk here?
hello. Ashton goes, hell yeah. And then she goes, wait, no.
I'm assuming. I'm assuming you've already asked for his passport papers, so he's been cleared for runway. So, yeah, that's the perk that comes with whatever you had done.
Luckily, the people that I have been into with have had no problem providing that type of proof. Like, I've been okay. And I think like more people should. I know it's not hot. I know it's not hot to be like, oh, let me see that you're clean test. Like, it's not a hot conversation, but it's a safe conversation. People are out there sleeping with whoever they want to sleep with, and do you be safe about it.
Elizahen says it throws off the pH. Listen, the experienced guys know. I know all about that. Okay, but don't worry. Because on your post cleanup, I got you a nice bar of Dove soap. I got you the good stuff, okay? The pH balance stuff that's gonna get you right. You're gonna be just fine, okay? The old Caress and Zesty soap, that's my soap. You ain't gotta worry about it. I got you the Dove. Okay, don't worry about it.
All the girls are just dying in the comment.
No.
Dove soap. Thank you. I gotta thank you.
But see, I'm the only one. I might be the only man in this chat that's experienced enough to know that. You see what I'm saying? Well, if I make a comment like that, then these women are like, okay, this man knows what the fuck he's doing. Thank you. Thank you. We can end on that one.
We have Greca in the chat said, easy dubs. Easy dubs.
Oh my God, man.
Oh, that was too good. Good episode. I loved it. So again, next episode, we're talking about anxious attachment is going to be our first one that we're going to talk about. And I'm pretty excited about it. So go give fun. Jenna her back rub.
All right. We'll see you guys later.
We will catch you later. Bye. Peace.